Hey everybody, Jimmy here with the Triple C Collective for another Turtle Tuesday for another commentary track. Today we're going to be diving in to Season 2, Episode 10, New York's Shiniest. This is a really interesting episode. This is actually an episode that brings up a character and other characters that I wonder if we will see come down the line from like NECA and Super 7 in a toy figure collectible kind of way. Excuse me. And so this episode, New York Shiniest, we get Shredder opening up the episode by calling Krang with a new plan to defeat the Turtles. Shredder hears about the police force making robot police officers, and Shredder plans to take those plans, steal the program, and rewrite it to have it obey Shredder and all of his commands instead of like whoever was going to control it in the police department or in cities or whatever. We get a cut to April and Irma. April and Irma walking to April's apartment, talking about why can't I meet someone? Why can't I meet someone nice? And we get basically a guy sitting in the passenger seat of like a big like box kind of moving truck van type thing, who like is like, hey sweet thing, what's going on kind of thing. Like here's Irma saying about like wanting to date someone, and like April pulls Irma away and is like, no, that's not the you don't want to date that kind of guy, which is really funny. But definitely a good move and a good friend move by April. Well done. As April then approaches her door and to her apartment to get in, she sees that the door is unlocked. She pushes her doors open and she's being robbed. She is like screaming and yelling like, hey, stop that, put my stuff down, all of that. She gets like pushed around, knocked to the ground. And we get this really odd cut after they push like Irma down and stuff, or after they push April down. Irma does this like fourth wall breaking. Most people want the boys in blue, but she wants the boys in green. Really funny line. It was funny. The Turtles are trying to change a light bulb, as April calls, says that she's been robbed, she needs them to get there. Mikey throws his nunchuck at the light, tries to screw it, and unscrews it and breaks it, and the light bulb like shatters. Instead of like it screwing in and being a tight and like turning on the light. Irma and April are talking about wanting to do a story now for Channel 6 about this. April says that she has a police contact that she can call to kind of get some information about like anything else concerning this. As the Turtles are in their disguise, like on their way, walking in broad daylight, walking to April, they see some guys selling some stuff. And we see a guy get out of the van, and it was the guy who was hollering at Irma. And the other two guys that were already out there on the street were the guys that were robbing April's apartment. And the Turtles recognize that that's all of like April's stuff. And we get the Turtles versus robbers. We get the awesome fight music that I've noticed was in at least the first season. Almost in every single episode it had the same kind of fight music for whatever it was. Like, let's call them like the cronies, like these would-be robbers and stuff here that the Turtles have like met or whatever. On their way to April's apartment. And so this is always This is always wild. Seeing it, but I love or hearing the fight music. I mean, not seeing it. Well, I mean, some people can see beside the point. Fight music is just on point. It's just great. I love it. It's the classic turtle fight music. It's so good. It's not like the theme song. Theme song's completely different. I also love the theme song as well. It's great. It's fantastic. But that's not what I'm talking about here. There's a certain like music cue, needle drop, if you will, of the fight, and it's awesome. I love the music so much. It's so great. In the fight, the turtles, they beat the robbers. The robbers like leave in their van. The best part is, I'm sorry, they don't leave in the van. The turtles lift the van, and that's what scares the robbers off. And then the turtles show up at April's apartment and bring in all of April's stuff. She's like, "Oh, great guys, thanks. I'm so happy," but she leaves for her story because that's what April does. She's a news hound. She's always after that story. April enters a warehouse where the Robo Cop is supposedly to be at from her police contact. That's what she finds there. She finds the robot, who is called Rex 1, is the robot cop. And Rex 1, I think it could be a cool figure. I think it could be a cool, like, Pizza Monster type looking figure, or like a Chrome Dome figure. Those are like kind of big, like bigger than like the 7-inch figures. They're closer to like maybe 9-10 inch tall figures, and they're really great. I think NECA, like whether it be NECA, Super 7, whatever, because NECA also has the Toon line as well, but that's usually in the Playmates remake. But that's beside the point. Either way, I think we could get a really cool Ultimate Rex 1 figure from this character, and it's great. Rex, this whole thing is awesome. April turns on Rex. It finds out that it's like a security robot. Rex 1 protects April from like the security guards that are in there. April runs away and leaves the Rex 1 controller, because this robot is still controlled by a hand controller basically, and which is really funny and awesome. And so April leaves in, like, trying not to get arrested by the security guards. The robot kind of shoos them away, and April leaves, but then the robot jumps out the window chasing after April with the controller, and is like, like, here you go, like, I listen to you, you are my controller, and here you go, you can't forget this. We get a cut back to Shredder then. He's trying to tap in to the city computer. Bebop and Rocksteady want to, like, keep pushing the, like, go button, basically. We get Shredder calling them, hold on, what did I write down? They are imbecile buffoons, which is a great insult. Like, I just loved it coming from Shredder. It was so funny. Imbecile buffoons, awesome. Then we get Rex 1 at April and Irma's apartment. Rex 1's cooking for April and Irma, which is really is cooking for April, while Irma then arrives and is then like, "Oh, I want a Rex 1. Rex 1 is mine now. I want to get one." The cops are threatening, like, arrive at April's apartment, are threatening to break down the door because they tracked Rex 1 there, followed them there, kind of. It's all, yeah. But the, whatever, those security guards come back, get to April's house. They're knocking down the door. April tells, Rex 1, no, don't don't do anything, leave him alone. Like they keep saying they're gonna break it down. So Rex makes a new door. He shoots his little laser gun, blows a big old hole in April's door, and then the security guards are like looking in and they're like, and they just run off and stuff, and it's great. It's awesome. It's awesome little stuff like that. And Rex One is like, I must remain with like my controller, so like I just shot him, and they're like, I shot the door, and they ran off. Irma's like, oh man, it's so hard to find somebody who is so faithful. That's so great that you are so faithful. Um, Rex One then arrive with Rex One and April head down into the sewer and arrive and meet the turtles. Um, Donatello is twirling his bow. Rex One just like crushes it, and Donnie's really upset. Donatello's really upset because Donatello's like, no, that's my best bow. Why? And then Rex One gives like one of the greatest lines ever in saying that I'm a 7-foot robot. I don't have to apologize, which is absolutely hilarious. Or like, I'm sorry. This he says I'm a 7-foot robot. I don't have to say you're sorry, or I'm sorry to you, which is great. I just found that so funny. Again, I think this should be a character at some point. NECA does a really great like ultimate figure and stuff, so I think that would be really cool for this Rex One. April is like explaining like, no, we're all friends, and then Rex One's like, fine, if they're your friends, they're my friends. And like April's like, the police think I stole them, so that's why they're after us. That's why we're down here. And Splinter's just right away like, how can we help? How can we help? You're one of our friends. You're one of the group. You're one of us. One of us. One of us. They decide to have a wonky little plan going to the Channel 6, not newsroom, but the Channel 6 news tower. The turtles are like scaling up the building with like ropes and stuff. It's outrageous. Like, just because you guys are turtle scaling a building doesn't mean that you're invisible. You guys walk around with like turtles in disguise suits all the time. Like, it's not nighttime when this is happening. It seems to be relatively daytime. I think you need to be a little bit more discreet, like Ninja Vanish. Come on now. But the turtles are climbing up there to get Vernon to kidnap him, but not like do him harm. They just want to bring him down to April so that he can run the camera for April, and as April does her story about the Rex One robot in the turtle lair, so that she's able to like record it and then put it out there without interference from anybody else, is basically what she's trying to do. While they're down there though, they get there's all kind, it just runs amok. It runs all kinds of amok. Them trying to film it, because Donatello eventually takes the camera from Vernon and just starts filming it himself. And is pointing it at Leo, Mikey, and like Raphael, and they're all like jumping on screen like and like stuff. It's great. But in this, like, they show. I'm pretty sure we get another little like animation, like, because we get Leo, Mikey, then Raphael pops on screen. But I'm pretty sure, and it's like very clearly red, bandana and stuff. It's meant to be Raphael, but it is very clearly Michelangelo's voice. Now, again, this could be one of those things where, like, I guess they could cover it by saying, like, it's actually Michelangelo talking off screen. Well, it's like, why are you showing Raphael on screen then with his mouth open, seeming to be talking? But it's just one of those things I always have questions about when I notice. Just because I'm interested in what the answer is. Is that really supposed to be Raphael talking? Or is that really Michelangelo talking? I don't know. I just want to know. I don't know. Weird things. I like behind the scenes stuff like that. Um, because like then it's like they cut to Mikey doing his like antics and it's his voice and stuff. So I don't know. It was just weird. Then we get the little funny also line of like, "Look, Mom, I'm dancing." Then April finally get like Donatello finally takes control of the camera fully. April is like, "Look at me." Not really like that. Not like as jokerish as I attempted to be, and they talk about the robot enforcement experiment of the Rex One. That's what REX1 stands for, robot enforcement experiment. Shredder is watching this broadcast as he's this broadcast that April is making. He finds it interesting concept to replace all of the police this way. He's saying like, soon I will have all of the answers to my questions. He gets tapped into the city. He like hacks. I guess this is kind of like made or written before like maybe the term hacking or being hacked and stuff like that is super commonplace as it is today. So like that's why it's really funny. He's saying he's got to get tapped into the city computer because that's probably what the terminology was back in like 80. He probably wrote this in like 86, 87. Season was 87 and this aired in 88. They probably wrote it in 87 or something. So yeah, maybe not. I don't know. But it's just like very interesting that that's what it is. He's hacking into the city, computer into the mainframe, and trying to steal these prototype plans because he's got a replicator machine so that he could build his own new basically robot army to replace his foot army that is still in Dimension X. The Turtles, after they're done filming, the Turtles take Vernon back to Channel 6. Shredder, we cut back to Shredder. He is commanding his army to go look after the Turtles and destroy them. The Turtles, on their way home from returning Vern, they see Shredder's robot army. They go down fighting like the true Ninja Turtles. It's awesome. They jump and dive into the river to escape the fire of the overpowering of the robot Shredder's like robot Rex 1 prototype army. They dive into the river in the turtle van. Shredder starts his phase 2. His robots are robbing all of these different places to get money so that he can continue on all of his stuff. Channel 6 gets cut off the air. And excuse. So Channel 6 gets cut off the air. Turtles pop out of the water. There's like, oh yeah, it's our natural habitat. So and they make a clean water thing here. Like, when will humans realize that they're just polluting their own water and like try and do like better, cleaner water? We get a homing device on April. They are stopped by the Emperor Shredder's troops. Rex 1 gets like beat up and is like under some rubble. We get the Turtles and the awesome fight music show up. We have the Turtles fighting off all of like the Shredder and his robot army, and it's great. Donnie is as the Turtles minus Donnie, because Donnie is trying to fix Rex 1 to emit some sort of frequency thing that will allow the Turtles and Rex to control then the very close in proximity to Rex 1, allow them to take control and not have Shredder have control of them anymore, which is really cool, really neat. Rex 1 is put back together, by Donnie. It's actually really funny. Donnie is wearing like a surgical mask and like putting him back together like he's doing surgery and stuff. It's a great little gag. It's awesome. I love it. Uh, Shredder then sends all of his Rex units to the amusement park because that's where the turtles are. They're all surrounded by Shredder's army. Rex 1, goes out, tries to start to defend the turtles and himself and April, and of course he doesn't work properly. The rest of the turtles again go in to distract Shredder's own like Rex prototype army. Um, Shredder ends up breaking his computer. The Rex program is announced. Like Donnie, I'm sorry. The turtles go in to distract Shredder's people. Shredder then ends up breaking his computer in this as Donnie fixes the issue with the Rex one. They're able to take control, and he's able to get the tape to get them like work out the tape, and it's a work or he as I say work out the tape. It's actually a workout tape that sends the command, or Rex One is sending it as a command from himself to take over the Shredder's Rex's units, and it's awesome. You just see all these robots doing like random exercises. Shredder's computer is broken, so he can't like do anything with himself. It's we get a cut then to basically the day is saved because the Rex robots eventually shut down. There's the announcement that they're ending the program of it. They're abandoning it. We get Irma. We see Irma going on a date now with Rex One. And Rex says his new duties are to serve and protect and take her to the movies. Irma's like, he's such a quick learner, and gives the little wink towards the camera, and we end the episode. So this episode was really weird. But I think Rex One would be actually a really cool toy. So I want a Rex One toy. So I'm throwing that out there. Other than that, like this was a really weird episode. New York Shiniest, the Rex One we get. And I'm Jimmy with the Triple C Collective. Thank you for joining me this week. Please like, subscribe, and follow to us. You guys have a great day.